For example, we set an AI in 2014 with the notion that we want to ensure that land and housing is brought to the center stage, and that land and housing, that Namibians, especially young Namibians, get access to land. And we thought at that point in time to be something that would just be done in a year, but we are now 9 years down the road. And since we are on the bench, since we are outside, we are now at the table. We're no longer on the outside or in the room. We're now at the table because we said that, look, let's create our own platform to influence decision making. And right now, Parliament is busy hearing our petition on land. That's one. Second is also that as young people, generally it's also that with NID example, NID does great work in terms of civic education, where they train young people on civic education basically. But then also we young people are not interested. We'd rather go to a Gaza show, we'd rather go to Chris Brown show instead of on a Saturday afternoon where you can just sit an hour or two and understand what does having rights mean. Because everybody says that, no, I know my rights. But do you know that your right also means that you also have a responsibility towards it? Because you cannot just have rights and no responsibilities. And that's one thing that we as young people tend to forget. That for as long as you have a right to vote, you also have a responsibility to hold a particular party or institution accountable. Because you cannot just vote and then go home. And also, equally, political parties and movements have also right to campaign. But at the same time, as a campaigning, people have the right to hold them accountable, and they also have to hold people accountable as well. And in my closing remarks is that our democracy is going into it. In the past 8 years, it has been flourishing because every year and every day, young people are standing up to air their voices freely, and young people are creating their own platforms. But then at the same time, we are going into a fragile state or a fragile democracy, whereby the state itself or the regime, the regime itself is putting up mechanisms to prevent from happening. And what I mean by this is that every day when a young person stands up, be it especially people from outside the political sphere stand up, they are told that no, that guy is corrupt, that guy does not understand politics, he is a politician, but it's a young person that's genuinely raising a concern of inequality and maltreatment. Okay. But once you do that as a young person in this country, you are labeled as in a particular way by the state, and that prevents and in that way the state is suppressing people standing up. Now, if the state continues suppressing young people from standing up, we will definitely end up where, like Kevin said, we'll end up at the stage where Mali is right now, where there's 2 coups d'etats in the space of 2 years, okay, where Burkina Faso can't provide meals and services to its own people. So we are going into a very, 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 very delicate stage as a democracy. For as long as the state suppresses voices, or for as long as the state does not embrace new thoughts, new thinking, we will definitely end up in a state where other African countries are.